So my first real clip of the video is going to be me making brews. There's not really much of a plan in this video, it's mostly just an update and get used to editing type video, but I was going to finish off most of these brews. I was planning on doing a couple of other bosses, a cheeky herb level, and I ended up settling for attempting a fire cape. Did not turn out the way I wanted. Just gonna throw in a rune crafting level here and then get on with some footage of my fire cape. And then I realized I am not good enough to do a fire cape. Well, I got footage of getting all the way to Jad, and then I don't know if it was ping or just my lack of skill, but it happens. And I don't feel like spending a absurd amount of money just to get a cape. So this is the footage of me actually failing Jad. I genuinely need a lot more practice, but without actually practicing just Jad, I will not be able to get the timings right, and it's kind of frustrating. Instead of throwing my head against the wall 1,000 times and probably blowing through more money than my cash stack is actually worth, I figured I'm just going to stick with what I'm good at and go back to skilling until my stats are at least strong enough to withstand one or two of his hits, even though I did manage to face tank a single one of his blows this time. So following that rune crafting level, I'm going to stock up a couple of different pulls and see if I can manage to get the guardian pet. Yes, I know I already have the amount for blood runes, but while I'm AFK I do blood runes, and while I'm not I was doing this. Although I can't really pull a needle to save my life, I do get a second lantern, so might as well turn those into some pearls, get myself a hat, and move on with this current grind. Several months after the last clip, here I am, logging into my main for the first time in probably 3 months. The price of bonds have skyrocketed, and I managed to get one surprisingly cheap considering they were almost 7.5 mil. And because I'm out so much money, I'm going to do a consistent money maker. This hasn't really changed in a long time, but while I'm here, I can grind out for crystal implings. I don't know whether or not the bots are just leaving them alone, but I have found a surprising amount in a small amount of time, so I decided to start recording them. And yes, that is a hunter potion. I do not have the level to catch crystal implings, but I can boost to do it. Of course, the main reason to catch crystal implings is the elven signet or crystal acorns. I don't really have elven signet or even crystal armor, so there's really only one thing I'm chasing, and that is free money while I'm doing a moneymaker. Given I'm already here, can't hurt to try. My luck's just playing out like normal, and I have none of it. Although it seemingly goes to different games, so I'm not exactly worried about my old school account being bad RNG. Eventually it'll work out in the wash. But right now, I just gotta recover some of my funds. Although I do get a crystal acorn, which that's my first crystal acorn on this account. A quick look at the money I made from the crystal imps. And back to Guardians to either pull the pet or the large pouch, but of course my RNG is bad, so the best thing I can hope for is to stare at this animation for about 50 more pulls and hope I get lucky. Yet if you've watched some of my other content, you know my RNG is kind of terrible, so the chances of me actually pulling the pet aren't 1 in 5,000, it's just not gonna happen. I'm honestly hoping just for pearls here so I can actually afford the hat and get a little bit more bang for my buck with blood runes. However, I don't have the agility level, so I will want to wear graceful as well. After a while at Guardians, I decided to come AFK some blood runes. Some people might call skilling boring, but getting terrible tasks in Slayer is just as boring in my opinion, mainly because there's no real way of speeding this up, but superiors do give a slight bit of a bonus RNG chance, although I'm never expecting to actually pull the heart. We will see if I get any sort of luck in this video. Another chance at the heart comes and goes with no real good drop. I'm really close to a mining level, and I finally pulled an Abyssal Demons task. And of course, hoping for an Abyssal Demons task genuinely isn't the smartest thing, because they don't drop really anything besides a whip or the dagger, so I came to try Sire, and genuinely it rocked my shit. So I decided to just go AFK. The little ones took maybe an hour or two. No whips, no daggers, no RNG. Story of my life. If you made it this far into the video, can I ask you to like and subscribe? Costs you nothing, yet it means the absolute world to me. And if I can't have RNG in old school, can I at least get the RNG to get you a like and subscribe? Probably not. I get my favorite task, bursting dust devils down. The only thing better than that is necreals, but that is always camped by higher level players because it's actually good XP. I managed to get Black Demons tasks, so I tried demonic gorillas, but on one, maybe 2 kill trips, this is going to take forever, so I decided, screw it, I'm just gonna go AFK some Black Demons. This is the loot I got from the few gorillas I did manage to kill before leaving, but it really isn't that worth it. Let's hope that Duradel is at least nice to me and gives me a nice bursting task. And of course he doesn't, because my RNG is terrible. So here's a mining level instead, and now on to my least favorite task. See you next episode whenever I decide to post it.